my name is Anna, and in this video I'm going to do the Book Courtship Tag. This tag was originally created by Leah from He Loves Books. I will leave down below a link for her channel, as well as all the questions that there are in this tag. If you want to do this tag and you haven't found the questions yet, you can find it down below in the description box. And I'm not going to waste a lot of time and just start with the tag. Phase 1, Initial Attraction.
Behind you. Yes, it's the book. No, you're not crazy. I'm gonna make this very simple. I'm a Sherlock book, Ayala. You love Sherlock. You're going to buy me. You're going to take me home. You're going to join me. You're going to fall in love. You're going to rave over me. You're going to cry over me. You're gonna just lose yourself. Yes. Don't give me that look. You're going to buy me. You need me. You need me.
Well, this probably won't be a bad idea.
Hi, you getting that book?
I'm getting this book. Why are you looking at this? This book is mine, okay? Okay? There's this spark between us.
The last one.
I know that this is the last book, but I got it. Back off. A book that you bought because of the cover. I usually tend to not buy books because of their cover. You know how they say, don't judge a book by its cover, but buy what's inside, and that's usually my philosophy when it comes to buying books. But sometimes you can just not say no to a fabulous, gorgeous, breathtaking cover that just calls to you off the shelves and tells you, Ayala, you need me. Ayala, take me home. So yeah. So I cave. And a book that I bought solely because of the cover has to be The Here and Now by Anne Bashar. As you can see, it's a very kind of simplistic cover, but what really drew me was at the back she had glasses, and obviously I'm a glasses girl. I love glasses, and I couldn't resist. Now, it took me a couple of tries to get into this book, but if you have seen my top books of 2014, you know that I ended up loving this book. This is a sci-fi young adult standalone that centers around time travel, and what initially got me so hooked was also the entire time travel aspect, of course, but the relationship that was developing between the two main characters. I felt like it was very genuine, very true. It wasn't very insta-lovey, and was very fresh. Phase 2, First Impressions. You're the winner of the Hugo Award, winner of the Arthur C. Clarke Award, winner of the Nebula Award, winner of the Locus Award, winner of the BSFA Award. The only thing I ever won was a competition that had to do with dance, and I was 7. But that's just as impressive, right? A book that got you because of its summary. I thought about bringing the popular option, which would have to be The Girl with All the Gifts, the first 15 Lives of Harry August. Basically, any summary that's kind of very in the dark about what the actual plot is about. It just gives you like the tone of the story. But I decided to go with a much less popular option that most people haven't heard of. So that summary has to be the summary of The Eye of Minds by James Dashner. So I'm just going to read to you what's written on the back of the book. Welcome to a world beyond your wildest dreams and your worst nightmares. Michael is a gamer. And like most gamers, he almost spends more time on the Vertnet than the actual world. The Vertnet offers total mind and body immersion, and it's addictive. Thanks to technology, anyone with enough money can experience fantasy worlds, risk their life without the chance of death, or just hang around with Vert friends. And the more hacking skills you have, the more fun. Why bother following the rules when most of them are dumb anyway? But some rules were made for a reason. Some technology is too dangerous to fool with, and recent reports claim that one gamer is going beyond what any gamer has done before. He's holding players hostage inside the Vertnet. The effects are horrific. The hostages have all been declared brain dead, yet the gamer's motives are a mystery. The government knows that to catch a hacker, you need a hacker, and that was the line that got me hooked. And they've been watching Michael. They want him on their team. but the risk is enormous. If he accepts their challenge, Michael will need to go off the VertNet grid. There are back alleys and corners in the system human eyes have never seen, and predators he can't even fathom. And there's the possibility that the line between game and reality will be blurred forever. As you can see, I really like this book. The reason that I was so drawn to this book by its summary was because it reminded me of two things. First of all, it reminded me of Spy Kids 3. I do not remember what the actual title of the movie is, where the two main characters, the two spy kids, enter this virtual world game kind of thing. And I absolutely loved that movie as a child. And second, because it reminded me of an anime I used to see as a child. There was like this 6 kids. They used to go to this warehouse and then enter this virtual world where they used to like defeat all the like weird monsters and finish levels. And if they didn't finish the level in time, then the monsters will come out to the real world or something like that. So it felt like nostalgic in a sense. And so I got this book, and then did I realize it was written by James Dasher. So I pushed this off for the longest of time, but I ended up absolutely loving it. Phase 3, Sweet Talk. Oh my god, Harry Potter books are like the best books on earth, and your author J.K. Rowling is literally like queen. No other book in the world can compare. I mean, you're my life and soul, and you fulfill every bookworm's dream, and you're the most perfect books ever. A book with great writing. For that, I have to pick a new favorite, which wasn't actually written in English. So a book that had spectacular writing in my eyes has to be The Elegance of the Hedgehog by Muriel Barbery, translated from French by Alison Anderson. I'm not sure if this is because this book was originally written in French, and French is a very precise language, or it has to do with the translation, but you got this feeling while reading the book that every word was put there precisely for a reason. Like, there was so much thought behind the specific word that was used in each and every sentence. You felt that if just one word wouldn't have been in the story, then the entire story would have gotten a different meaning. Phase 4, First Date. Do you see this book? You hear me, Blood of Olympus? We're going on a date. We have to go on a date because it's ridiculous that I haven't read you yet, and it's a gift from God that I haven't gotten spoiled yet. We're going on a date next month. That's it. We have a date. We have a date for the start of next month. I'm going to read you. I'm going to cry. I'm going to go into Percy Jackson withdrawal symptoms. It's going to happen. It's going to happen, my friend. We're going on a date. So, the first book in a series that made you want to pick up the rest of the series and read it. For that, I'm going to pick another unpopular choice, and that is Beautiful Creatures by Margaret Stoll and Cami Garcia. Now, I intentionally got the movie cover, and I'll just explain why. So, the first time that I came across the Castor Chronicles, it was 2 o'clock in the morning. I was on vacation. It was Friday. I was in the hotel. I was zipping through the channels, and then it was just exactly the start of the movie. And I remember she said something. I was like, oh, this sounds interesting. So I clicked to see what this movie is about, and then I saw Witches and Jeremy Irons. And Jeremy Irons is one of my favorite actors out there. Of course, I'm going to see a movie that he plays a part in, and then I ended up loving Macon. I mean, I'm not sure if my love for Macon comes from the fact that Jeremy Irons played him in the movie. So that's why I got the movie cover. And I actually got this book the day after I saw the movie, but I waited an entire month to read this book because I ended up reading it on the train ride to and from getting a couple of my passport and visa things sorted out. So I read this on the train ride and had nothing to do, and I was like, I want more. So once I got off the train ride, I went to the bookstore, I ordered Beautiful Darkness, and from there, it's history. Phase 5, Late Night Phone Calls. Heroes of Ages, you cannot do this to me. You have to tell me if the ending will emotionally wreck me. I think we have gotten to a point where I could talk to you at 3 o'clock in the morning, screaming at you and saying, what's going to happen? Do I need to get my tissue box now or later? A book that kept you up all night. Usually, books don't keep me up all night. When I get tired, I go to sleep. I usually don't push past it. But the last book that I devoted an entire 24 hours and just started to read and just couldn't stop was Gathering Darkness by Morgan Rhodes. I waited not so long for the book, but it felt like eternity. And I just devoured that book. I mean, it's Morgan Rhodes. It's the Fallen Kingdom series. How can I not? Phase 6, always on my mind. A book that you couldn't stop thinking about. Now, usually the book that I can't stop thinking about is the book that I'm currently reading. I tend to, like, in class or something, if I'm bored, think about different theories of what could happen to the characters, how the plot is going to progress, and so forth. But there's one book series, well, 2 book series, that always stay in my mind, and that's because I grew up with them, and that has to be the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series by Rick Riordan, and the Heroes of Olympus series, both by him, obviously. I mean, I didn't grow up on Heroes of Olympus, but it was a continuation of the series that I grew up with. Phase 7, getting physical. Dear books, dear books, I think that we've gotten to a point where I could do this. I love you! A book which you love how it feels. Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. I don't know what it is about this, but it's just fun to hold and put my hands on. Phase 8, meeting the parents. Hello Paper, Hello Ink, I Love Your Children, the books. A book which you would recommend to your friends and family. So basically, any book on my favorite shelf, which is the shelf over here. Phase 9, thinking about the future. Listen to me because I'm only going to say this once. Don't you guys plan anything for the next 80 to 90 years because you're going to be in my collection. A book or a book series that you know you're going to reread again and again in the future. That has to be the one and only, one of my favorite trilogies of all time, his Dark Materials by Philip Pullman. Phase 10, share the love. Who do you tag? Since I personally wasn't tagged by anybody, but Sasha from a Book Utopia said that who's ever watching her video can consider himself tagged, I'm going to do the same. But thank you for watching this video. You are now tagged. Feel free to do this video and leave me a link down below because I would love to see your video. I would love to hear your opinion about the different questions. And yes, thank you, and I will see you soon with another video. Goodbye!